Max Verstappen may be locked into a Red Bull contract until the end of 2028, but the fine print could hold the key to an early escape. It's common knowledge by now that performance-related clauses could open the door for an exit if the team's form falters. And falter it has, at least by Red Bull's lofty standards. With their once dominant grip on the grid loosening in recent months, Verstappen's next move is now harder to guess than ever. The four-time world champion is now being hotly linked to rival outfits, with Mercedes and Aston Martin topping the list of suitors to lure him away. As the 2026 regulation shake-up inches closer, the Verstappen sweepstakes are heating up fast. Adrian Newey has weighed in on talk about Verstappen's Formula One future, saying the Dutch superstar will always follow the scent of speed when deciding his next move, fueling rumours that Aston Martin may be eyeing Red Bull's four-time world champion. The iconic F1 designer made headlines with his first official Grand Prix appearance for Aston Martin at Monaco, nearly 3 months after his high-profile switch from Red Bull to become the team's new mastermind in the role of technical partner. Speaking to Sky Sports F1's Martin Brundle, Newey addressed the paddock whispers suggesting Verstappen could eventually join him and engine supplier Honda at Aston Martin. With the Japanese manufacturer set to swap allegiances from Red Bull to Aston next season, just as F1 enters a new rules era, the momentum is picking up around Silverstone's fast-rising squad. I mean, Max, obviously a formidable competitor, but he's also a very simple beast. And I mean that in an entirely complimentary way. He just wants a fast car that he can showcase his talents in. So I suspect Max will always chase who he thinks will produce the fastest car. With Aston Martin now boasting ex-Red Bull engine guru Andy Cowell, the rumour mill is getting to heads over at Milton Keynes. The relentless speculation surrounding Verstappen's future has now drawn a direct response from Red Bull's senior advisor Helmut Marko, who pointed to the summer break as a crucial period for change involving Verstappen. Summer break, same story, everything is far too early. And when he was asked about whether or not his star driver will still drive for Red Bull in 2026, Marko's answer was, he has a contract until 2028. Marko confirmed that, like many of his peers, Verstappen does have performance-based exit clauses baked into his contract. But the veteran Austrian was quick to downplay any panic in the Red Bull camp, firmly brushing off concerns that the reigning champ is plotting an early escape, at least for now. All contracts have clauses which are mainly on performance, but that's not relevant at the moment. Marko believes the solution to shutting down the rumours lies with Red Bull's performance on track. He explained that, no, we hope that we bring the necessary quality of our car. Then all these discussions are gone. Red Bull's recent slip in form has come just as rival teams are hitting their stride, a timing that's only added fuel to the fire surrounding Max Verstappen's long-term future, despite his contract stretching through 2028. Once the undisputed force in Formula One, Red Bull's technical edge appears to have dulled in 2025, prompting growing questions about whether they can still deliver the kind of title-winning machinery Verstappen demands. Yet amid the mounting chatter, Marko struck a reassuring tone, insisting that Verstappen's intentions remain steady, for now. At the moment, everything is clear. He also said he wants to fulfill this contract, Marko revealed. But we have to deliver a car which makes him winning, or at least have a chance to fight for the championships. Red Bull seems to be clawing its way out of the early season slump that shadowed the start of the 2025 Formula One campaign. Heading into Round 7 at Imola, Max Verstappen was staring down the barrel of a potential 42-point gap to Oscar Piastri, had the McLaren driver taken victory with his teammate in tow. But Red Bull's upgrades to the RB21 delivered when it mattered most, propelling Verstappen to a dominant win, comfortably ahead of his McLaren rivals. With that momentum, fans hoping to see Verstappen match the record of 5 consecutive drivers' titles had high expectations heading into Monaco. But the RB21, like its predecessors, remains stiff and unforgiving over low-speed corners and high curbs, a combination that plays havoc with the car's balance and makes qualifying a challenge. As the Formula One circus heads to the Iberian Peninsula, all eyes will be on Barcelona. Not just for the racing, but for the technical truths it may finally unveil. Red Bull's much-hyped Imola upgrades will be under the microscope, while McLaren's recent surge in form is set for a litmus test of its own. Suspicions of flexible bodywork will face serious scrutiny as the FIA's new stress tests are introduced at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya. In just a few days, McLaren's comfortable margin at the front could vanish into thin air. The penultimate outing at this classic European venue promises to be a turning point, with every development, lap time, and technical compliance likely to hint at which team might hold the upper hand for the rest of the summer stretch. But while Verstappen and Red Bull are still clinging onto McLaren's coattails in the drivers' title fight, things are far less stable within the team's broader driver program. Red Bull made headlines by naming Liam Lawson as Sergio Perez's replacement for 2025, but the Kiwi's promotion was short-lived, demoted back to the Racing Bulls after just 2 Grand Prix weekends. In his place, Yuki Tsunoda stepped up to partner Verstappen. While Tsunoda has managed to keep the car in the points on occasion, scoring 2 P10s and a P9 in his 6 starts, he hasn't exactly lit up the timing screens. The Japanese driver's lackluster results have already reignited chatter in the Monaco paddock about his future, suggesting that Red Bull's second seat saga for 2025 might be far from over. Never one to shy away from a microphone, Dr. Helmut Marko was in classic form on the French Riviera. When pressed on whether Yuki Tsunoda's promotion to the senior Red Bull seat had come too soon, the ever-candid Austrian didn't hesitate to deliver a response. No, because Lawson was in a negative spiral, he told Viaplay. Liam, is now in the top 10, so that shows that he is recovering. He would not have succeeded next to Max Verstappen. Helmut Marko has never been one to mince words, and when it comes to Yuki Tsunoda, his critique has been consistent. Since Tsunoda's arrival in the Red Bull fold, Marko has repeatedly questioned the young driver's mental toughness, what he's labelled as frailty. And after Tsunoda's hefty crash at Imola, the Austrian advisor didn't hold back. Speaking to assembled media, Marko made it clear that patience is wearing thin. It's an incredible setback for us, because we are now working through 3 races in a row, including Monaco. It's not exactly forgivable if you make a mistake there. Therefore, the situation with spare parts has really become critical. It's likely that Red Bull's driver lineup could look wildly different next year compared to what it looks like today. Should both Max Verstappen and Yuki Tsunoda jump ship, how well do you think will Red Bull fare? Comment your prediction down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching.